let this Mac flow. This one, hold on. I say, I'ma let it. Alright, come on. Alright. Got a drop on this flexin' nigga. He from Tennessee, I had a thought. She be with this shit.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you all for your likes, shares, and subscriptions. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you have not already, as soon as you walk through the door, hit that like button. I appreciate you for doing so. In this episode, we're going to talk about dishonest men. That is going to be the title of today's episode, Dishonest Men. And that's one of the things that I cannot stand. I hate a dishonest man. I dislike dishonest people, period, in general. But today's episode is about dishonest men. I can't stand it, y'all. I really can't stand it, whether it is lying by omission or just outright lying. And some people just lie through their teeth, and it comes second nature to them. They don't care nothing about it. They just gonna lie just to lie. If they form a sentence, they just gonna lie. And then you have those people who are just not going or not willing to tell you what it is that you need to know, not willing to supply the information that you need. Okay, let me give you some examples. I remember when I was younger and I was dating an ex, and this ex would always, he had no problem doing effed up stuff. Like he just had no problem doing effed up stuff, which is, you know what I mean? And when he got caught, instead of owning up to it, he would just disappear. Time would go by. It would never be addressed. We would start back, and I learned from that, because today you can't do it. And he has still tried to do the same thing that he did when we were kids. Come back around, time has gone by, and he think, nope, you can't, the door is shut on that. He cannot do that to me anymore. And I bet he is just like, okay, how in the fuck do I get back in now? You can't. But he would just separate himself. And time would go by, and then we would talk like nothing ever happened. And the last time that we really dealt with one another, there was information, a lot of information that was left out. And it had me in the middle of something so major, to where I had no idea what was going on, but everybody else did. That's the most humiliating thing that you can put a person through, to where everybody knows you. Everybody knows what's going on. Everybody is basically watching you, and they're forming these opinions, and everybody knows pertinent information, but you have no clue. The whole world, the whole state knows. Multiple people in other states know. But you're sitting there and you're left out, and you're left to be laughed at, and you're left to be picked on, and you're left to be judged because someone never told you what was going on. Even if they skated around the situation, you're lying by omission. You're sitting here in a person's face, and you knowing that you have something major going on in your life, or you're dealing with something, but you never tell them. And yet you still initiate conversations, and you still initiate relationships, and you still initiate whatever, what have you, but you never tell them what is going on. And when it all hits the fan, and that person asks you about, well, what is this? And why is this happening? You don't say anything. You ghost them, you disappear, You wait for time to go by again, and then you try to reinsert yourself in this person's life by saying, "Oh, well, I was thinking about you, or I had a dream about you, or how's everything going, motherfucker? How do you think everything is going?" Like, I hate dishonest men. I can't stand it. That's why, like, I don't tolerate it, y'all. I don't tolerate it at all. My experiences have taught me so much. It's taught me, what to look for, what not to settle for, the things that, what new requirements I have now. I've learned so much in life and in relationships. Um, but I don't like it. Even if you want to talk about like little white lies, some little white lies can turn into some major life changing things. You know what I mean? Um, so let's talk about the outright liars, baby. These people, an outright liar, baby. They will lie for no reason. The men that just lie for no reason. I remember it's one guy, when I first met him, I was looking at some pictures. I don't know how we got on the subject, or maybe we were talking about things I like to do. One of the things I used to do for myself is take myself on these vacations out of the country. I was into like solo traveling, and one of my favorite places to go was Jamaica. I love Jamaica, honey, and I would take myself there annually. And I was looking at these pictures, and I showed him the pictures of where I went and where I stayed, the food I ate, the drinks, the people, and how beautiful the ocean, like everything was. And we got to talking about planning the trip. And he like, yeah, oh yeah, we can do that for shit show. Like, anytime somebody say for shit show, but he was like, oh yeah, we can do that. Oh hell yeah, we can do that. Come to find out, this motherfucker couldn't even travel. Like, this person was the type of person that would meet people off dating sites, begin to live with them, take up spaces in their homes because he was on a run from the police. You couldn't go nowhere. Why would you lie about going out of the country? You lied. Then this person lied to me about being in a relationship. I would ask, and a woman's intuition would always tell you, but I had no proof. So I asked. It was just and I guess maybe the proof was in the actions. But today it's quite different for me. But I will always ask, and he still said no, lied about being in a relationship, didn't know he had all these kids, all these women pregnant, and all this, just lying for no reason. Yeah, we can do this, and yeah, we can go here. I'm gonna take you here, and I'm gonna take you there. Just lying for no reason. I cannot stand a liar, because a lie does not have to be told sometimes. A lie, like, it's just like you lying about stupid shit. Certain things don't have to be said. Like, if you knew you couldn't do this, and you knew you could have just said, well, not, you could have just told the truth will do. The truth will do. And that's why, and with me, I'm one of the most understanding women there are. Like, you could literally just sit me down and have a conversation with me about certain things, and it would be okay. We could have figured certain things out about certain situations. Not saying about that person right there, because that person was a huge mistake of me dealing with. That was a huge lesson. I believe God will. I don't even. That was a snake, and you know what? before I met him, I had a dream about a snake. This was before I got on my as deep into my spiritual journey as I am in now, and I believe that that was a warning. Before I met him, I had a dream about a snake. I did. I remember it clearly. I think it was like a day before, a week before. I can't remember, but I know before he came into my life, I had that dream, and that was a warning. And I wasn't, I wasn't as deep in my spiritual journey as I am now. And now that I am like where I am now, I take everything. Like I'm cautious about a lot of different people who, present themselves. I don't care about what it is that they say. I look at actions and I trust my spirit. And it's one of the things that you have to honor your spirit. You have to honor that. You have to honor what your spirit is saying versus what a person is saying versus what a person is telling you. Like you need to trust yourself before you trust another person. And it's not about being paranoid, but it's about trusting yourself, okay? And believing yourself and believing in yourself. If something does not feel right, if an environment does not feel right, if a person comes around you and all of a sudden your body is rejecting them, and I don't mean just rejecting them in the sense of you sleeping with them, but I mean like rejecting them like now all of a sudden your hairs are standing up on your arms, or you get this uneasy feeling, or even you may even get sick to your stomach, and something will happen when or even animals, if you have a pet and your dog or your cat or something, or whatever you have just doesn't you gotta trust that, because my dog didn't even like him. He really didn't. But you gotta trust certain stuff. And thing about it is, he had a dog, and his dog didn't even like him. His dog ran away from him. And I say, you gotta be a fucked up person for your own dog to run away from you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to trust what you feel, trust your animals, trust your instinct about people, because there are signs, dead giveaways about people's actions and their character, who they truly are. People will lie about who they are just to get around you, and certain people will love to say, well, I just could never get in that situation, that could never be me. But you never really understand how charming narcissists are when they come towards you. You get swindled. That's why you have so many people who take up for narcissists, because they're liars. They're very, very deceitful. Who they show themselves to be to the world is not at all who they truly are. And so that's why a lot of people get, used. They're used as pawns, as flying monkeys, and people love to take up for them and say, oh, well, I just don't believe that person will do that. I've known them for such and such, or or this person gave to me and helped this person and helped the community, and and they're liars. Their whole being is a lie. I don't care. And they love to do generous things. They love to give you gifts. They love to volunteer, and they love to help you. They love to try to listen, and they love to try to mimic your emotions. Certain people like this, they study you. They study your behaviors. They study the behaviors of people who are caring and are nurturing, and then are fun loving, and they pretend so well. And you have to be careful, because you can get caught up. So don't never say, oh, that could never be me. because it could. People lie, and people lie well. And that's one of the things that I just don't like. I hate a liar, whether it's by omission or if it's just an outright lie. Always keep in mind the truth sometimes will do, but it's all about your delivery, how you tell a person something. And you may feel like, well, I can't tell this person because they're going to react this way and they're going to react that way. Sure enough, they will, because we are human. But if it's something that a person needs to know, and first of all, don't put a person in a situation to where you have to be worried about, oh, how are they gonna react when I tell them this? Why the fuck did you do it in the first place? Why the fuck would you bring them along in a fucking scandal or a situation like this in the first place, knowing that they had no clue about what the fuck was going on in your life? How about not putting them in that situation to begin with? And maybe you wouldn't be wondering, how am I going to tell them this and how am I going to tell them that, and maybe I need to lie and I got to keep this. They could never find out. You should never did it to begin with. Some of us are minding our own business, not even giving you a reason to lie about nothing. But people are so selfish these days that a lie just does it for them. Anyway, sometimes the truth will do, but it's all in the way that you provide the truth for that person. Anyway, y'all, that is the message for the day. Thank you all for your likes, shares, and subscriptions. As always, I'm MsJaye. Have an amazing day.